The Lion's Secret Map of Ash and Gold. Once upon a time, in a quiet little village surrounded by green hills and soft winds, there lived a young boy named Roy. He was a gentle soul, full of wonder. Sometimes he looked up at the sky and thought, what is beyond those clouds? He asked questions even the grown-ups couldn't answer. He dreamed of faraway places and of magic hidden in ordinary things. One warm morning, his mother called to him, Roy, go to the shop and buy some things for dinner. It's a bit far, but you know the way. Roy smiled, nodded, and began his journey. He carried a small bag of coins and a heart full of curiosity. The road was long and kind. He walked past rivers that whispered, trees that danced, and butterflies that seemed to follow him, as if they too wanted to see what he would discover. When he reached the first shop, it was closed. He sighed, smiled a little, and kept walking. The second shop, empty. So he walked farther still. And then, along the golden edge of the forest, something beautiful happened. From behind a tall tree, a lion stepped out. Its mane glowed like sunlight caught in fire. Its eyes were deep and ancient, like they had seen the beginning of time. Roy froze. His little heart thumped fast, but the lion did not roar. Instead, it spoke softly, like the warm wind brushing the grass. Are you going to the next shop, young boy? Roy's eyes widened. You can talk? The lion smiled gently. Of course, it said. Even silence speaks if you know how to listen. Roy tilted his head. I'm going to the next shop, he said. Do you want to come? The lion nodded. And so the boy and the lion walked together. The road grew quiet. Even the birds seemed to pause, as if the earth itself wanted to listen. Roy looked up at the lion. Why do you stay in the jungle? He asked. Humans. We're advanced now. We have cities, rockets, machines. We can do anything. The lion stopped walking. He looked down with kind golden eyes. Advanced? He asked softly. What do you mean by that? Roy smiled proudly. We build towers that touch the clouds. We have cars, computers, and power. The lion was silent for a long moment. Then he said, very quietly, My dear Roy, you speak of power, not progress, of tools, not truth. Roy frowned. I don't understand. The lion looked toward the horizon. Humans have learned to fly in the sky, he said, but they have forgotten how to live on the ground. They have built weapons that can destroy the world, but not hearts that can heal one another. Roy said nothing. He just listened. The lion's voice grew calm like a breeze before dawn. Once, humans carried something called humanity. It was a light inside them, the feeling that made them care, help, protect, and love. That was the real power, not the machines. Roy whispered, What is humanity, really? The lion smiled. Humanity, he said, is when you become more than just human, when you learn kindness, compassion, peace, when you stop thinking only of yourself. I laughed. That is when you truly evolve. Then the lion lowered his voice. But there is something even greater than humanity. Roy looked up. What's greater? Spirituality, said the lion. It's when you understand that you are not separate from the world, that every bird, every tree, every river is part of you, that love is your true strength. They walked in silence for a while. The sunlight turned golden on the path. The lion said, True progress is not how high your towers reach, but how deep your heart feels. Not how fast your machines move, but how still your soul can be. Humanity, he said, is the bridge between your mind and your spirit. Roy listened, and something gentle awoke inside him, a peace he had never felt before. Lion, he whispered, do you think humans can learn again? The lion smiled kindly. Yes, he said. Every time someone chooses love over hate, peace over anger, care over greed, humanity is reborn. He looked at Roy and added softly, Maybe it starts with one boy who walks beside a lion. Roy smiled. When they reached the final shop, Roy turned to thank him, but the lion was gone. Only soft paw prints remained, leading back into the golden forest. That night, under a sky full of stars, Roy did not think about rockets or machines. He thought about kindness and the sound of the lion's calm voice. And from that night onward, he carried one truth inside him. That the greatest update a human can have is not technology, but humanity. And beyond humanity shines a golden truth, spirituality, the light that connects all living things as one. Years passed. The boy grew into a man. He built a life, but he never forgot the lion. Sometimes at night he would still hear that voice, soft and deep, speaking about peace and loving. Roy sat before a blank canvas. He picked up his brush and began to paint the memory that lived inside his heart. He painted the lion. Its mane shimmered with strokes of sunlight. He painted the sky, half in ash, half in gold. Ash for the world that forgets, and gold for the soul that remembers. When he finished, he whispered, "This is not just a painting, this is a map. A map that leads from power to peace, from pride to compassion, from human to humanity." He named it the Lion's Secret Map of Ash and Gold. And through that painting, the lion's voice still lives, whispering to every soul that gazes upon it, the next evolution of mankind is not in strength or speed, but in spirit. And so the boy who once walked beside a lion became the man who painted the path back to light, from the ashes of forgetting to the gold of remembering. The Lion's Secret Map of Ash and Gold by Roy, author, painter, and dreamer of light.